So I said I was going to tell my testimonies, and as difficult as some of these are, I believe that the Lord is going to utilize these testimonies to help people. Please forgive all the background noise. I got the sprinklers on, but I had really wanted to do a video. Actually, I had recorded a bunch of videos and I was going to upload them, and they were dealing with relationships and people who didn't practice fidelity and all the hurt, this that and the other. And then I just felt the Lord tell me not to post them. Listen, everybody has a past. Everybody has made mistakes. And this is one of the things that the Lord was pointing out to me. Though some of those things you may not have done, but you've done something. One of the things that fidelity is so huge for me. When I say so huge, just to mess around and cheat on someone, that's just I just thank the Lord, that's just something he never put in my spirit. Unfortunately, I have been on the receiving end of that, and I wanted to do some videos to just really encourage people, whether you were on the receiving end of it, or if you were the one that struggle with infidelity. But I've been praying and asking the Lord to help me and to heal me from all of the trauma, all of the infidelity that I have experienced in life. And I didn't know how he was going to do it. He'd already healed me from a lot of it, but there was still some residue. And what I have found out just today, that there were some things that was still buried that I didn't know. So I had left and I had gone out to the beach. I love to sit at the water. But this particular time I went out towards the shore, and I just sat for a while and prayed and felt the Lord telling me, it was time to go. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I was leaving. And as I was on my way to my car, I was stopped by an ex. Stopped by an ex. And you get your, it's like, is that you? That's you. And we, stopped and talked for a while. And one of the things, and I'm just giving you the short version, he hurt me. He was one that really hurt me. Like, I mean, this was a relationship. Well, I want to say 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And I thought I had healed from it. I wasn't rude or anything, but he wanted to catch up and, can I get another chance to just be friends? And the Lord had to show me that this is one of the ways, is that I'm helping you to deal with the hurt, the past traumas. Sometimes you have to face them head on. And of course I declined. We're still friends. Let me say that. I'm not one to really hold grudges. I'm not, because who am I to hold a grudge against someone, knowing how many times I have offended the Lord, knowing how many times I have walked in unrighteousness, knowing how many times I have willfully sinned. So, but as I said in the other post, forgiveness doesn't always mean access. So I just want to say this. We don't know how the Lord is going to bring about healing. And sometimes you're going to be confronted with your past. And how you handle it determines how you go forward. And there is I care about this person. I care about them as a person. I mean, they were very apologetic of how they treated me and what they did. And, of course, he was a different person way back then. And I could tell the person standing in front of me was a new person, a new creature in Christ Jesus. So this is why we have to be careful when we're counting people out. When people say once a cheater, always a cheater, that's not true. There are sometimes people are just going to struggle. Sometimes people just don't want to give up that life. And they explained to me the different things that they endured over the years, and in relationships, and truly my heart goes out, because infidelity, some people don't recover from it. Some people just don't recover. So to see that this was a changed person standing before me, I was so grateful and appreciative. Of course, I had to pray, way back, then, and the Lord has helped me throughout the years. And I'm happy to see that this is that's a new creature in Christ Jesus. And, they're involved in church and ministry and servitude. And I'm truly happy for that person. I pray that the Lord will bless them with someone that can meet them and really be the person that they need to move forward in life, in ministry. You'd be surprised how many men want to be with someone that they can serve God with, that they can pray with, that they want to go on trips and all of these things. Sometimes it's unfortunate that you get to the end of your life and you've made all these mistakes and you've done these things, and then you get to a place it's like, wow, I wished I had done things differently. And for a lot of us, we've gotten that point. And I'm 54 years old, and certainly I can look back over my life and say, Lord, I wished I had done some things different. I wished I've had, I wished I would have been more understanding. I wished all of these shoulda, coulda, wouldas, in life. But I'm saying this because you're going to be faced with some things from your past, and how you handle it, how you respond is really going to determine your healing. I want to heal forward. Me and this individual we're friends. We have a friendship. I believe that we'll continue to be friends. And what a blessing it was. Nothing happens by chance. Let me say that. Everything was by divine appointment. And the fact that the Lord had me praying, I was down on the beach. I was praying and talking to the Lord about different things. And when I came up, was on my way to my car, I ran into this individual. So I thank the Lord for the opportunity, because this is something that they needed. They needed to apologize. And I have went and apologized to people too for my actions, for the things that I've said. Sometimes I could be a little slick mouth. I can. Sometimes I, talk a little sideways. So allowing that person the opportunity and the space just to say I'm sorry. And I know that they were sincere. They was like, the person that I was. And this has happened before. A person that I had conversations with, and I'll let them know, you kind of like, you weren't serious about me. And this is how it made me feel. And they were like, this is the person that I was then. Back then. We don't know what God is doing in a person's life. We're holding on to all of this hurt and pain. And yes, they talk about red flags and people not changing. But what about the ones that are truly transformed? What about the ones who have taken that time and sat with the things that they've done, the people that they've hurt, the mistakes that they've made, and really put them on the altar of grace and allowed the Father to deal with them? All right, y'all, I got to stop right here. My time running out. Listen, I may be back with a part 2.